1,000 Maws of Toto-Rak, which is a fairly straightforward dungeon with a couple of mechanics, but nothing overly difficult to understand. The main part of the dungeon is collecting the photo cells, which open, you need 4 for each boss. And when you open them, obviously, it gets you further in the... when you open them, the boss appears, and then you have to fight it. And there is one of the photo cells there. But unfortunately I had to have the targeting because of the unfortunate way the game targets. And there's this path here which gets you an extra photocell, but it is not necessary to do, I think. Yeah, there is a photocell there. I don't think I've ever been the first person to enter this room before, so... But the main attraction there is that treasure chest, which generally has a potion or something in it, so it's not necessary to go that way. Though the path does split into 2 directions, it doesn't really matter which way you take. As the normal of the Arcanist in every dungeon, keep up your buffs, or your dots. And the enemy should fall, as well as using Paper and Energy Drain at all possible times. And here we are at the first boss, which will appear when we activate the Magitech terminal like that, and it is called the Coral 09 Tails, which I always think should be Coral, not a Ochu, but that's just me. Fairly simple. It poisons everybody near it. And all you really have to do is keep up your shots as the Arcanist. It looks like the easiest way to deal with the Ochus in general is stay away from them. That way you don't get poisoned. I don't think the regular ones actually can poison you unless they're targeting you, but there's no reason for you to be up close and personal anyway. Although, no. It looks like the martial artist, what is it, pugilist? Yeah, pugilist. Was... oh, it could be the monk, I guess. Either way. It was indeed poison to either pull aggro or get poisoned from being there. Annoying camera angles are annoying. I could not target the prison pattern until I moved, but just And I'm pretty sure most of these side paths have chests with something like a potion in it. Sometimes it will be something worthwhile, but only if you're like my level. Your higher level is probably a risk now. Although one can never have too much food, I would say. And here we are at the second boss, which is another Kuro in 9 kills. The only difference is, I believe it is the one that summons extra mobs. So it is, in fact, tougher than the first one. Same basic steps for the most part. Keep up dots, keep away from the boss itself, and you can avoid getting more dots, and there's the extra mobs who will cast slow on you, which is a very annoying spell for the castle. Depending on how good your tank is, you may need to kill the mobs. If not, you can just rush it down like that. at this point of the dungeon you'll end up running into a lot of those like web parts that suck you in and then block off whoever doesn't make it through. So it's generally a good idea to not be the one that goes in first, as you're the squishiest one and you're going to be taking damage and you're more than likely. Because some people can be slow. And the other thing to watch out for is the fleshy pods, which can blow up on you. And, well, you can see there's a dot. But it's easy enough to avoid if you're smart. And just pull it like that. And perspective apps like that, obviously you just attack them and you get your way through. Find more on thing is when people just walk through them instead of blowing them up first. And since we're down here, you might as well pick us up. And here we are at the final boss, pretty much. There's like one little fight between us, and then maybe two. So let's find out about this. Yeah, there's a couple more fights on the way. I'm just dumb. And this is the part that some people will get annoyed at because it's a longer cutscene. That of course I'm going to show for the sake of the video, but if need be, don't feel like you have to watch it, as all cutscenes are viewable later on in the story in your inner room.
Seeds are gone well wrong. Mayhap I might if I deign to speak in my guest cruel tongue. I am Lahabrea of the Asians, servant to the one true God. Yours is a most fantastical tale, truly absorbed. It is a tale to tell
I'm not
Eorzea's
going
children
to go through
before
the whole
bedtime.
speech just because I don't want to hold everybody up. But I'm going to leave it up long enough
The
for
dark
people to read.
minions.
All that stands between this world and darkness. Yes. Alas, like all good tales, it must...
Because it is very likely that they will actually start the fight without me. I've seen people do that before without the tank or without the healer, for example.
The presence of evil.
For the end of your tale is but the beginning of another. The tale of that crystal's demise.
Oh, that was nice then. They didn't go without me. That's good. Basically for this one, the main goal is to obviously kill the boss, but the fleshy pods also come in and explode on you like they would when you walk into them. And other basic things, obviously dodging his things, and he has mobs as well, which are always fun. And there's one more part to the fight that I will get to in just a minute, I'm sure. And it's a very key part, which is where we are now. The tail itself. As soon as, if I can get it targeted, and how if I could. Have it for a second. That should have been a lot easier. But I digress. If you're playing on PC or with a mouse, that is a lot easier to do. Because obviously you can just click on it, but because I'm not on PC or using a mouse, I have to try and scroll through them. which as you can see is not an easy. The pugilist, the pugilist or monk, whatever it is, I think it's a monk, probably should have used a limit break there. That would have made the fight easier. But again, easy enough.